Blaney's rejoining there, they're all three wide. Neil's trying to get involved and Blaney hits them both off. Blaney goes back on the track, hits both cars. It's the right on the back of Bradders into the hairpin on the inside. Bradders outbreaks his own, they both pass, just had to say. Stevie passes them all straight through. Oh, Callum's lost it! Callum's lost it! What a recovery! He uses the wall, but what a recovery there from Callum. Let's have a look at Steve. Now Stevie holds his own around the outside. And no way Jose, but then gets a slow run out of the corner. Bids right up on the outside of him again. This is brilliant. LPB WTCR Championship Round 5, the special event, Race 1 from Long Beach. Hi everyone and welcome back to LPB Racing for Round 5, which is our special event of the WTCR Championship on by LPB Racing. And we are at Long Beach for the first race, and it's going to work a bit differently this one. We are all in the Mercedes AMG, so we're doing 4 races. 3 races will be in each individual car, so we'll have the same car for the race. And then the fourth race, is a bit of a surprise. So we'll fill you in on that later. But this one is the Mercedes AMG around Long Beach, and let's take you through the grid now. So on pole position in his debut race for LPB Racing is Darren Ellis. So it is Darren Ellis on the front row. So it's Darren we were calling by. So Blake is in second place. Then it's third for Neil Farmack with Fidel alongside in 4th. Then we've got Twerdy in 5th. TY in 6th. We've got Bradders 7th. Pash in 8th. Then it's Stevie 9th. Bidster back in 10th. George in 11th and Intrepid in 12th place. We've got a few absentees in this one, but we should be all good. So let's get on with the race then. Ready for the revs to rise, waiting to go. Darren on pole, and away we go. And Fidel gets a good start, goes alongside Blakeney on the outside. We're almost 3 wide already. Luckily there's room on Long Beach to do this. So Blakeney then in the middle of a Darren and Fidel sandwich as everyone else battles for position. Down the stairs, contact further back, a green car comes across and cars in the air everywhere. And Bradders is off and into the first corner. Oh, we've got car. Oh, it's already happened already. Bang, car in the air. What's new? Oh man, as Blakeney goes into the corner too hot, causes his own incident, I think. But Darren Ellis gets away, Darren away at the front, and then it's Neil Farmack in second place giving chase with a very, very feisty Twerdy and TY behind him as they come through the corner. Darren runs wide, and it's going to be Neil taking the lead of the race. Darren runs wide, and he's going to lead, and Twerdy's going to go through as well, and then Twerdy goes to the inside of Neil Farmack into the corner, and is the contact. Oh, we can't see, the camera's gone funny again. Yes, there is, they're both off the road. So there's Twerdy a bit too ambitious there, hits Neil Farmack, and Darren takes the lead back again. And Bids is up to 6th place after all this mess. Bids is up to 6th, there he goes. Bradders in 8th, Fidel 9th, and then further back we've got George, Stevie and Blake. So George and Stevie, the two cars from Dive Squad, not really doing very well there, and Blakeney at the back after the incident. TY now takes the lead, and Darren makes another mistake. TY takes the lead, so we've got one friendly fire car at the front and the back, and now there's more controversy as I think there was just contact between 2 cars there, and out of the hairpin we go. And what a first lap that was insane. But we come down the straight, and it is TY in the lead with Darren and Neil alongside each other. Darren's on the outside, Neil's on the inside. Neil should get the run on the straight. Now he's got to defend, and Darren's got to watch out for Intrepid as well, who's closing up, and Bidster's closing up on the pack as well. Darren on the inside, Intrepid with Bidster behind him now. Bidster looking for the move here on Intrepid as we've got contact further back. Bradders goes into the wall. The two green cars there, the 2 Dive Squad cars diving on each other as George and Stevie go together through the roundabout. And out on the other side, so let's have a look then. So it's TY with a massive lead there, Neil Farmack second, Darren Ellis under pressure from Intrepid there. Intrepid up to 3rd place from the back of the grid. What a few opening laps for Intrepid. As Bid is alongside Bidster. Bidster's on the outside. Intrepid's on the inside. Bidster will have to fold here. Intrepid will get the line into the corner. And out we go. Pash then closing up on Bidster as well. So it's all happening in this mid-pack here. Darren with a bit of a train behind him. But 3rd place so far after a bit of a up and down first lap is a good going. As Intrepid has a little look, no way through there. Bidster having a look at the back of Intrepid as well. Into the corner. Darren goes wide. Intrepid looks for a way through. Can't find it as you go into the hairpin. You see there into the hairpin. Fidel and Twerdy get very close into the breaking point. Almost take each other out. As Bidster gets a good run on Darren as Intrepid goes through. And Darren goes back down to 5th place with Bidster on the inside. So Bidster takes the inside there and passes Darren Ellis. And then it's now Pash coming up to the... it's now Fidel and Pash having a bit of a battle back there as Pash goes down the inside of Darren. There's contact and they go into the corner. And massive pile up as Pash makes a mistake on the braking and hits Darren. And George then, he goes around the corner blind and runs into Pash. So it's all happening there. Darren gets going again. And George is behind Pash now. So it's all changed there. All getting a bit messy, a bit people getting a bit too feisty with things, and they need to clean things up a bit really. It's not looking good as George goes down the inside of Pash, trying to force alongside, but no, Pash holds on. Apologies for the sniffle, guys, but here we go. It is Intrepid in 3rd, Bidster 4th. Neil's now been released to try and chase down TY. Further back we've got Fidel and Twerdy and Stevie battling out. Stevie's up to 7th now after that incident at the first corner. Down to the right-hander at the end of the straight as Twerdy goes in a bit soft. Fidel goes wide. That's going to put him offline for the next corner. Twerdy could have a look here. Twerdy could have a look as we go around the corner and into the hairpin. Fidel goes very wide there, and Twerdy goes through on the inside, and Stevie almost gets through but can't quite make it. As Bradders goes back through in 8th, Darren back to 9th after a promising few opening laps. And we've still got Pash and George battling out further back here. George has a look at Pash down the straight. They're going to go side by side. Let's have a look at these guys into the first corner. It's Twerdy, Fidel and everyone else into the first corner. And Twerdy goes through and Fidel goes into the wall as Stevie sort of catapults himself off the wall and gets the position as George and Pash side by side into turn 1. And it's George around the outside who keeps the position. So good move there as Blakeney runs wide at turn 1 again. So Blakeney not having a good race here by any standard. As Intrepid and Bidster are still close together, the battle for 3rd well and truly on here between Intrepid and Bidster, and they're actually catching Neil Farmack here. Neil Farmack's made a mistake and he's gone back off the back of TY. So TY pulling out the lead in front. There's Twerdy, Stevie and Fidel, and we've got Bradders and Darren close together, and George and Pash still can't separate these two. Still close together. Blakeney trying to catch on to the back of these boys, so it's got a few battles up and down the field, but TY's in the lead. There he is, across the line to start lap 5 of this race. So just about approaching the half distance mark now. At the end of this lap will be about half distance. Neil Farmack in 2nd place, and it's Intrepid in 3rd with Bidster still on his tail in 4th. Bidster will have a look into the first corner. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get through. No, he's not. He's just going to stay behind. So Bidster then just trying to keep the pressure on Intrepid as Intrepid goes wide, and Bidster now takes the opportunity and goes through. Intrepid, one mistake is all it took, and Bidster's now through into 3rd place. So now let's see if Intrepid can stay with Bidster now. Just further back we've got Twerdy still ahead of Stevie. So Twerdy from Stevie. Fidel's back down in 7th place now. We've got Bradders and Darren Ellis very close together. Darren right behind Fidel there. And also George closing up on the back of these lot as well. George going for the move on the inside of Darren into the corner. Darren gives him space and respectful racing room, and and he does, and he gives him room as Darren passed his assessment with flying colours. His brother also did as well, Bert 1986, who unfortunately can't make this one due to bad weather and internet being rather rubbish with the bad weather, so can't help that, but hopefully we'll get him next time out. But Darren up the inside of George trying to keep the move on, but now George gets the move done, and Pash now starting to come alongside Darren as on the straight we go, and Darren gets past, and he's about to get passed by Blake as well. So Darren getting really shown the LPB racing treatment here, back down to 11th place and getting mobbed by everyone as he goes into the wall. Just probably a bit annoyed at himself that he's lost all those positions in one. Blakeney trying to go around the outside here to get the inside for the hairpin. Can he do it? No. Darren holds his ground, so he goes wide though. Blakeney then takes the position out the corner, and Darren goes back down to 12th. Back to the 3rd, it's Bidster in 3rd from Intrepid still. We're trying to look for a few battles here, guys, so let's have a look. Oh, here we are, Bradders and George together. Bradders side by side with George. Bradders in the yellow car on the inside. George to the outside. He's going to look to get the run out of the corner here. Bradders goes into the corner. George goes over the curb on the inside. Got to watch the penalties there, but Bradders holds on. So Bradders has got a little bit of a train developing behind him now. He's got all of the last few positions behind him now. So between 8th and 12th, separated by a couple of seconds. And Bradders holding on in 8th so far as we go over the curb. A little bit of damage on that car from the earlier contact, but he's going well okay now. Mercedes is a very agile car, one of the most agile touring cars in the game, because obviously you've got Mercedes, Megane, and then the BMW and the Opel. But the Opel we don't run because it's DLC, but the Megane very agile, and that's why we ran it on this Long Beach circuit, because it's a nice agile car. Bradders defends the inside. George can now try and get the run on the outside, and Pash is going to come alongside as well. George looks left, looks right, no way through. Pash is now alongside him as well. So this is a brilliant battle down towards the right-hander at the end of the straight. George on the inside, Pash looking to the outside, and George goes in too hot. Bang! Hits the back of Bradders, and Pash and Blakeney and Darren just go straight through, and George realises his error, and he lets Bradders go through, just outbrakes himself, and George lets Bradders go through, but yeah, just a genuine mistake there by George, I think, but Pash, Blakeney and Darren will not be complaining because they've made 2 places each, and over the line they go. Oh, Intrepid's lost it at the first corner. Intrepid's lost it, and Twerdy's off as well, and Stevie's starting to fall, so possible contact there. But Intrepid's off, he's now going again, but he's got Fidel right behind him, so Intrepid makes a mistake there, and we'll just get the first half replays in for you now. Sorry it's a bit late, guys, but we'll get him in for you now. Here's the replays from the first half of the race. Okay, here's the replay of the first lap incident then, so watch the yellow car in the middle, Brad, as he comes across on Stevie, hits Stevie, and then Stevie loses control of the car and then side slams into the others, and that's how the others went in the air. But that's what caused the initial incident, is Bradders came across, causing the other car to spin. And now here's the replay on board with Neil of the incident that happened at the first corner, so we'll just slow this down for you so you can see here. So we see Blake in the red car going into the corner, he's only just on the brakes now, he's braked very late. So he goes into the corner, and then watch Fidel on the inside, he goes straight on as well. And then Darren just misses him, but then clips the car, and then Blake goes in the air, causing a few other incidents behind. And we'll actually get a good view from on board with Fidel as well as we go into the first corner. So you see Blake goes there, we're on the inside, we're trying to slow down, but we can't. We hit the wall, then Blake gets hit there, he's in the middle of the track, bang, gets hit again by Pash, bang, gets hit again by Bradders, and then he gets put on his wheels. So yeah, Blake is too hot into the first corner, and then gets hit multiple times. Okay, here's an on board with Darren on lap 1 to look at the Twerdy Neil instance. You see Twerdy goes past there and he goes on the inside of Neil, brakes too late, hits him off, and they both go into the wall there and lose multiple positions. Here's just a second look at that now with the external cameras. Twerdy at the inside, Neil has to turn into his apex at some point, but Twerdy is too fast into the corner and hits Neil off. Okay, here's the replay on board with Patch looking at the Intrepid and Darren incident into the last complex. You see Darren goes through the corner a bit slower there. Intrepid gets a good line through here, but then just goes too fast, hits Darren into a slide. Darren recovers, and Patch very conveniently hits Intrepid to actually point the right way again, and it doesn't cause further incidents. So bonus points for Patch to actually help him with the incident there. Well done. Okay, here's the replay on lap 3 of Pash outbraking himself and hitting Darren off. So what he did, he's outbraking himself here. Hit Darren, gives him plenty of space, but hits him off into the wall and just makes a mistake. Bradders then comes around, nowhere to go. Stevie gets very lucky, and George hits Pash, and then they have to turn around and get going again. And now back to the racing action. So as we come back from that, it's Intrepid and Fidel still battling hard. As we go down the straight, there we go. It's Fidel behind Intrepid. So look further on, we've got Stevie and Twerdy. Twerdy still trying to keep with Stevie up ahead, but Stevie pulling out the gap. He has got lights on, but on the game with the damage, the visual damage that is, we don't run any. It's only cosmetic damage. We don't run any sort of realistic damage because because obviously the action pack racing that we have, we don't want to end up with people not finishing. We like to give people a chance. So Stevie there through in 4th, and then we've got George and George, Pash and Bradders together, all 3 together down the straight. It's Pash on the inside, Bradders on the outside. So Bradders and looking to make up some positions after being hit off by George, and George again late on the brakes there, but this time avoids Bradders and this time pays the price. And Darren's also gone back to 12th, so Darren's made a mistake as George rejoins the track there and Darren goes through. So yeah, George needs to work on his braking points there because he's becoming a bit of a hazard as Pash and Bradders go alongside on the straight. They're about to start their lap 8 now. Across the line, Pash and Bradders alongside. Pash has got the inside, so should have the momentum around the inside as he does. Bradders will try and keep it around the outside if he can. He's not going to be able to be alongside enough unless he brakes very, very late, which he does, but Pash holds on to the place. 9th place is Pash's. And meanwhile in the lead it's still TY with a 125.3 in the lead of the race, coming into the last complex and just showing us all how it's done. TY, his wheel not working this time, so he's on a controller, and it just shows you that it goes back to a controller for one race and he's out in front. So just shows you typical TY as we go around with Neil and Bidster. Bidster trying to catch Neil Farmack here, but Neil Farmack absolutely just trying to trumping him on pace. Playing a big game of top trumps here with the lap times. 125.1 for Neil and a 124.8 for Bidster. So Bidster's on the move here, trying to catch Neil Farmack for, I think that's possibly the fastest lap of the race so far. But Bidster then on the move here behind Neil, trying to catch him up. Through the first corner we go. Meanwhile, further back we've got Intrepid and Blake close together. Intrepid's being gone behind Fidel now, and he's under pressure from Blake. Blake trying to recover after the dismal start that he had. And down the straight we go, tucked behind each other. Towards the first corner, Intrepid moves to the inside to defend. Blake has to go to the outside, and he's not going to get around the outside of him in here, I don't think. No, he's not. He runs wide and hits the wall instead. So he didn't brake enough and took it. He should have tucked in behind Shane there, really. He should have tucked in behind Intrepid, but that didn't happen. So he hit the wall, and now he's going to continue. Meanwhile, Neil and Bids are still 1.2 seconds apart. The battle for second place rages on, and TY is about to start his last lap of the race. He's not too far off starting the last lap. So on this penultimate lap, Bids still trying to push to catch Neil here, sliding into the corner and approaching the last hairpin. Down the gears into the hairpin. He's catching up into there a bit, but Neil gets a good run out of the corner. So one mistake from Neil and he could be under pressure big time from Bids, as Intrepid still keeps the gap the same to Blakeney further back. So a little further down the field, we've got Pash in 9th on his own, we've got Bradders in 10th on his own, we've got Darren in 11th on his own, and George has fell right back after that incident down to 12th place. Meanwhile, Bidster now under a second to Neil. He's right behind him. Last lap of the race. This is on for second place as you go through the complex of corners here. Don't go over the curb too much like Bidster did. Bidster's just gone over the curb really bad there, and now he uses all the track on this part as well. But he's made a mistake, and that could be the finish that Neil wants. Bidster's made the mistake that he needs, but it's closing him down again, but again he's just too far back still. He can't make enough inroads into him to be close enough to have a go into the last complex. Meanwhile, at the last complex already is TY. He's coming towards the last complex now and about to win this race as he goes a millimetre from the wall. Meanwhile, Bids still trying to catch Neil Farmack here through the last section. Last ditch effort for Bidster, sliding the car into the apex, trying to do all he can. And into the last corner we go, into the hairpin, and it's going to be... I think Neil's just about going to get this, but TY wins the race. Well done to TY. Fantastic victory for TY. Dominant race, and it's Neil who holds on to second place there from Bidster. So it's a TY Neil Bidster podium. Well done to all three drivers at the front. Good race. Stevie recovers to finish a well done to fourth, and it's Twirly in 5th. And then we've got Fidel coming out the last corner. He's going to be in 6th. And we've got Intrepid and Blake at the last corner. Last ditch effort for Blake to get past Intrepid. There's Fidel finishing in 6th place. And it's Intrepid and Blake down to the line. And it's going to be just Intrepid from Blake. So it's 7th and 8th for them two. And then we've got Pash coming out the last corner now. Pash is going to be in 9th after a bit of a sort of a contact race. Pash in 9th. Bradders in 10th. And then it's going to be Darren in his first race with LPB Racing. He got a bit involved in a few incidents there, but all's well that ends well. Darren in 11th. Hopefully more things to come from him in the future. And George is going to round off the 12. So we'll just get those second half replays in for you now. There's no replays from the second half. And we come back from that, and now we will take you to the results. Okay guys, here's the results after that race then. It is TY who wins by 6 seconds from Neil Farmack in second place, who brings home Bidster in third. It is Stevie in fourth, with Twirdy taking fifth. Fidel's in sixth, good position for him. Intrepid is seventh, just ahead of Blake in eighth, if you go over the page. Then it's Pash in ninth. Brothers finishes in 10th, and then quite far back from there is Darren in 11th, and George rounds off the 12th. Okay, after the results, there is your winner, TY, in the red Mercedes there. Just try and get him in shot. There he is in the red Mercedes. Well done to TY. Some more points on the table for him and his team. So we'll see you guys next time for race 2, which will be around Zolder in the BMW touring car. So stay tuned for that, guys, and we'll see you then. Take care. Thanks for watching another race by LPB Racing. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave your comments down below. And next time it'll be race 2 of our special event around Zolder in the BMW 320 touring car.